Hey guys, the Common Man here. So I wanted to do just a quick video on my slip joint collection. Recently I've been getting a lot more into kind of traditional slip joint folders, and I can't exactly tell you why. I guess I could give some reasons, but for whatever reason, certain things just pique your interest, and then you get kind of stuck on it for a while, or at least I do. But certainly for a while now, I've been really into slip joints. I still absolutely love my modern folders, my single-handed opening folders, like this guy, the Civivi Vision FG. There's just something incredible about the machinings, about the mechanics, the manufacturing in a modern folder like this that is just fascinating and makes it so much fun to carry and just kind of play with. But something about these old school slip joint folders is just really fun, really fascinating, and it just brings a more traditional feel to your EDC carry. So you can see I've got a few different options here. I've got a few different things laid out. I've got the Great Eastern Cutlery, which is what these two are. These are actually made in Titusville, I believe, Tityute area in Pennsylvania. And I've also got a Swiss Army knife, Victorinox, a Swiss-made or a Swiss manufacturing company. And then I've got another American-made. This is a Case mini trapper here. So all great knives. The Case trapper is the one that I think. I don't know. I wasn't overly impressed with it, but I still really like it, and I want to keep giving Case a shot, give it a few more chances to sort of redeem itself. But if you've seen my review on this guy, I wasn't overly thrilled with the fit and finish and the quality control. But anyway, we're not going to talk about the negatives really. We're going to talk about the positives and why I love these knives. So, this guy I kind of bought with the intention of carrying this as kind of a dress like a dress knife, something that I carry in a suit coat pocket or my suit pants pocket. And, the reason I went for a traditional is because I just love the look of the wood. I love the pinned construction, the bolsterless construction, and the two-hand opening. Something about this just seems about as I don't know, I guess civilized as you can get when it comes to a pocket knife. When you pull this out of your pocket, say you need to cut a thread, your wife's got something hanging off her dress that you need to just, cut a thread or something like that, and you pull this out, you could pull this out in a wedding, make a quick little cut, and no one's going to think anything of it. Same with like an office setting. If you pull this out in an office, you need to cut open a package, cut open a letter, or cut something off of your shirt. No one's really going to bat an eye if you pull out something like this, which is kind of why I went this route for like a dress carry. Because of course you could carry something like this. This is my CJRB Pyrite. It's got the carbon fiber. It's got the Damascus blade. It's very showy, but it's got kind of a classy feel. But the thing is, this is still kind of, I don't know, I guess it's kind of aggressive if you were to pull this out in a really kind of fancy situation like a wedding or a dinner or something like that. Again, where something like this may not be so, I don't know, so alarming to other people. But that was kind of my thought when it came to this knife. And this has also got a couple of different blades, which is very cool. And a lot of these slip joints do offer that feature. Several options, maybe a couple of different blades or a couple of different tools. But you can see you've got the regular kind of, I guess you can sort of call this like a clip point blade, or maybe just a drop point, and just a little bit of billboarding there, which I actually kind of enjoy that pony jack. It's got this long pole nail nick, and then you've also got this little pen knife. So this is very cool because you have a couple of different blades that you can get at. If one blade is starting to get dull, you go to the next blade, Or say if you are really trying to stay minimal, you really don't want to draw attention to the fact that you got a pocket knife. If you pull a tiny little blade like that out and you make a little cut, I promise you no one's going to say a word to you. Not a big deal. But that is what's really cool about this knife, is it's so classy. It's so, like I said, just kind of civilized, traditional. I really enjoy it, and it's also in a small, compact package. This guy is the Great Eastern Cutlery. This is the Sod Buster. I know I didn't say that was the Great Eastern Cutlery Pony Jack. This here is the Sod Buster. So this is actually a play on the Sod Buster design. I know Case Knives has one. Great Eastern Cutlery has one. And I think they also have a version called the Bullnose, which is just a larger version. But it's just a nice kind of drop point blade with a nice big belly here, a lot of flat, regular nail nick there, And both of these knives are in 1095 steel too, so they're a high carbon steel, so they're going to get a patina. They could rust over time, so you got to keep them oiled up and stuff. But that patina kind of adds to that kind of traditional look and style. A blade that's seen some use, it's going to look like that old knife that you found that was your grandfather's or your dad's, that's got that, you know, brown kind of faded steel. It's really, really cool, and I'm excited to see how these things patina over time. But you know, it's not a blade steel that really holds an edge, and that's kind of a theme with all of these knives here, is they're not necessarily high-end blade steels. They're going to hold an edge for a really long time, but they're going to be very easy to sharpen, very easy to touch up, and they're going to be good and tough. They're going to roll before they chip, for instance. So when you're going to resharpen them, you're not going to have to do tons of reprofiling. And if you do, it's not going to take long because they're relatively softer steels. But yeah, you can see this has got a nice size blade here. It's got this beautiful micarta handle. These pins, also a pinned construction, and I did throw a leather lanyard on here. You know, for my in-the-pocket knives, you know, it's another thing with all of these knives is none of them have pocket clips. So these are going to ride in the pocket. So for a lot of these knives, you can see the Swiss Army knife, this guy here, if it's got a lanyard hole, I'm going to put a lanyard on it, at least for these couple of more casual knives, because it gives you something to hold on to when you pull it out of the pocket, and it just makes it a little bit more easy if you're not going to carry it in a clip style. Just something to grab onto is really nice, and it also gives something for your hand if you were to kind of slip off the knife or whatever. But anyway, this knife also has another feature, which is very cool, making this definitely more of kind of a casual or like a dinner night kind of knife, and it's got this really cool bottle opener slash flathead or pry bar, also in the 1095 steel. But like I said, some of these slip joint knives offer different features in one knife. This one here has got a single blade, a single large blade, and this kind of utility tool, which is just very, very cool. So this is something you could throw in the pocket, and you know, hey, if you need a flathead, if you need a little bit of a pry bar or a bottle opener slash, you know, cap lifter, you got it. So this is kind of multiple tools in one, and it's done in a very classy, kind of unassuming, like I said, I want to say, you know, civilized package. It's just something that's very traditional and looks really, really nice, and also feels nice in the hand. So a couple of really cool options by Great Eastern Cutlery. I love these knives, and I do carry them. This one I carry a fair amount, and then this one I usually save for those nicer occasions where I'm wearing maybe a suit or some dress pants, and I don't want a pocket clip sticking out of my pocket. This guy here is my Swiss Army knife. This particular model is the Climber. This has actually been in my pocket almost every day since I bought it. I first bought the Swiss Army knife Huntsman. I bought that really as kind of a gym bag carry, just to have some tools in my gym bag, a couple of knife blades, and it's been great. I actually did it. I've used it a bunch. I bring that bag to work, obviously to the gym. Sometimes if I'm out running around, I'll have it in my truck, and I'll have that little tool with, you know, toothpicks, tweezers, scissors, 2 blades. It's got these really incredible scissors. I mean, do not discount these scissors as being serious cutting tools. These things are impressive. They'll trim nails if you need them to, like fingernails. You can absolutely trim your fingernails with these. You can cut paracord. I've cut small gauge wire. I've cut the little plastic tie straps that hold toys into packages, you know, for my kids. This is a very, very useful tool, and again, you know, along with the same theme as the other knives, this is not something you pull out of your pocket and someone, you know, looks at and thinks, oh my gosh, he's got a knife. Not really, anyway. This is a very civilized, very traditional, very, I guess, classy way of still having a knife in your pocket, but not attracting any attention. And it's really been great. I also put these are RGT Rips Garage Tech canvas, I believe. No, these are black linen micarta, and these are pretty easy to put on, and I love the feel that it gives it. It does actually end up staying put in your pocket a little bit nicer, and then with the lanyard, it's easy to pull out. But yeah, just another exceptional slip joint knife that I really enjoy carrying, and like I said, this has been a part of my EDC loadout really since I've picked it up. And then lastly, for my slip joints, we've got this guy. This is, like I said, the case knife mini trapper. Overall, it looks really, really nice. You can see I've scuffed up the bolsters by doing stupid things to it, but I've tried to kind of polish it out the best I can, but it still looks really good. You can see it's got this beautiful jigged bone cover, I guess they call it, instead of scales. They call these covers, and they look great. The transitions are really nice. The back spacers or springs are very nicely flush, leveled over and very flush. Transitions are just incredible on this knife, especially for the price. This guy is like $60 or something like that. You get a lot of knife for $60, I think. Now, the downside is the fit and finish. I do think you're kind of rolling the dice when you buy one of these. You don't know what kind of fit and finish you're going to get, so you may have to just accept the fact when you get it, you're going to have to inspect it and plan on potentially sending it back to have them either fix it or replace it for something in a little bit better condition. This guy, I decided to take things into my own hands, and I pressed the bolsters in a little bit to eliminate some blade play, some pretty severe blade play. And there is still blade play, and that's something I want to point out with these other knives. No blade play in any of these knives, in any of the tools. Swiss Army knife might have a little bit of play in some of the back spine tools, but as far as the knife blades and stuff, no, there's no blade play at all. This guy, like I said, unfortunately, a fair amount of blade play in these blades. So, you know, again, you're going to have to kind of work through the whole quality control issue, but you know, it is really still a satisfying knife. It gives you that traditional feel, that old school slip joint feel, these thin, low profile blades, which you will have to resharpen. This thing came with the worst edges I've ever seen on any of my knives. I had to reprofile the edge and resharpen it, but once I did, man, this thing takes a razor sharp edge, and it is now an absolute joy to cut with. The tips were non-existent. I had to add tips onto it by just resharpening and regrinding those edges, or reprofiling the edges. But again, once I did put a new tip and a new edge on this thing, and then take care of that blade play, this has been a really, really fun knife. One that I honestly think I'm certainly going to keep in my collection. It's just a fun addition to my traditional slip joint everyday carry / you know, nicer occasion kind of knives, and I've just really enjoyed it. In all of these knives, honestly, guys, there's just a different kind of joy that these bring, apart from, or, you know, different than what like a modern folders bring. These are just, these kind of just remind you of like the way things used to be, I guess. You don't take these knives apart. You simply oil them up, you work the action until it's smooth again, and then you set it back down. You sharpen it, you strop it. It's not going to hold an edge forever, but you just accept that. And there's something just very, very cool about that. Like I said, it's just that old school traditional way of doing things, and there's something refreshing about it. So I've really enjoyed these knives. I'm certainly going to keep getting new slip joints in my collection, and I'll be putting them on the channel when I do, and hopefully you guys enjoy that along with me. Part of the reason I wanted to upload these videos is so that I'm not enjoying all of my knives by myself, but I can actually share them with all of you. So hopefully you guys get some joy out of it as well. If you have any suggestions on different slip joints, kind of these traditional folders that I should check out, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys would like to see on the channel. And if you want to see more of my EDC knife and tool content, please consider subscribing. Thanks.